Hello everybody, it's me, TONIK TZW. I'm here in the Tier 7 Pan-European Destroyer, the Split, and I'm in division with PikeyMonkey and RotaryRabbit. Sorry, that's my phone beeping, so I'd best turn that off. Um, yeah, we managed to get together for a few games today, and I haven't played this ship much. I've played 4 games in it. This is the 4th game, but this is my build. I'm running Jersey Swirsky, and I'm running it as a pretty much full gunboat, which nearly caused me to come unstuck. But this slot here, this next one, is the one that's important for this build with the split, and I'll come into that in just a second. Inspirations wise, I'm running Bay and Sims. Bay to give me some concealment, and Sims to give me the extra hit points which I really need when I'm running this build. But to jump back to the skill that we're talking of, it's Fox Flare. And the important bit is the bit at the bottom. So although it reduces your main battery reload while your radar is active, it says that your radar duration matches the smoke generator action time if the latter is longer, which is a bit gobbledygook to me, and I don't know how that translates in other languages. But what it means is that you can extend the duration of your radar by using your smoke screen. Now, I realize that I've been doing this completely the wrong way, so I've put together a few examples that I'm going to click through and show you. So bear with me on this one, and we'll go through them one at a time. So in the first instance, we're going to run just the radar only, and I'm using the training rooms for this. Good way to get to know your ships. So there's a top tip for you. So just by hitting the radar, we see that we get a 10-second duration on the radar, and then it drops into the 1 minute 30 cooldown. Now I've got 3 radars available and 2 smoke screens. So there's a little tip to come up on that as well in saving one of your radars. Next, we're going to run radar and smoke at exactly the same time. And what you'll see is because the smoke generator runs for 20 seconds, that the radar will also extend its duration to 20 seconds. And you think, that's great. I have just doubled the length of my radar duration, and we'll just wait for this one to tick down, and then we'll flip to the third example, because I'm going to show you a way, if you don't know this already, that you can extend your radar to practically 30 seconds if you're quick on the buttons. So this one is going to be radar with delayed smoke. So as we flip across to the little clip, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the radar. That will run for 10 seconds, but just before it runs out, at 1 second, we're going to hit the smoke screen. And that will then extend the radar by another 20 seconds. So 10 seconds for the radar itself. Wait for it to get down to as low as you dare, and then hit your smoke screen, and that is going to extend your radar for another 20 seconds. So there is a little bit of a top tip. If you haven't figured that out already for yourself, don't tell anybody. In fact, no, do tell everybody. Tell them all, because it might improve the way that some people play destroyers. But here we are. We're on Estuary. We've got RotaryRabbit in, I think it's the Massachusetts. And we've also got PikeyMonkey, who is also playing in the split. He's running a slightly different build to me, I think. Not quite a complete gunboat build. And I forgot the build that I put onto Jersey Swirsky there, and didn't realize that my concealment was 5.8 kilometers until such time as we were in the game. And I was like, oh dear, there are 4 destroyers in this game. There's a Z-35, there's a Paolo Emilio, there's a Fantask, and there's a Grom. So there's a lot of torpedoes, there's a lot of guns. There's also a full division out there as well. So we decide that we are going to play this cap first of all, see if we can get rid of a couple of destroyers, We're both running twist and track. We're trying to spread across the cap so that we don't get taken out by one salvo of torpedoes. And we're talking about rotating our radars. Now, it was only after the fact that I figured out that I could do the radar and then delayed smoke. But this Paolo Emilio has pushed in hard, and I know I'm using HE and probably should have switched to AP, but in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the battle, we were just piling onto this guy to try and get rid of him as quickly as we possibly could. And we get a kill assist there on the Paolo Emilio. I didn't actually see who got the kill, but he did manage to get his torpedoes off. That battleship sailing straight in. There's a reason they call that the YOLO Emilio. But the division, which has the Z35 in, they are there at the top end of this cap. Red team are going to basically put in a wall of steel in front of us, but there's twist and track has pointed off my bow again. Now, my radar is on cooldown. I've got 45 seconds to go. We've got the Lutarigo there, but there is a Z35. I haven't got smoke available, and so I'm thinking, right, okay, let's get on this guy. He's got a 5-kilometer sonar. We know he's in division. His division mates are behind us, and he slams on the brakes immediately. Now, he's popping a smoke, but we know that we are outside of sonar range for him. We see Pikey's radar go up, but there we go. Remember, you can't see targets for 5 seconds, and because this radar on its own is only 10 seconds long, everybody else will only see it for 5. So utilizing that radar and delayed smoke is an effective counter for other destroyers, because it's going to give you 30 seconds to shoot at it and the rest of the team 25. But obviously, until you hit that smoke screen, you are going to remain spotted and you are going to be getting shot at. But we get another kill assist there on the Z35. We've got 2 caps, and we do see the alert shortly that B cap is being taken. There's one battleship across there because we all piled in this direction to take this cap. And I'm like, okay, we're going to have to head back across there. There's obviously at least one destroyer there. And RotaryRabbit is like, well, I'm just going to get my nose in against these guys. And trust me, he holds this flank. And I said he must have like a boxer's nose by the end of this one, because he was getting completely brutalized by Red Team hanging there at the back of the map. But given that they've lost 2 destroyers, there's 2 left in the game. There's at least 1 on this cap, because otherwise, if it was a cruiser or a battleship, I think it's a Nagato, would have seen it. That Nagato is running for his life at the moment, but he's actually going to come good later in the game and finish quite in a reasonable place up on the leaderboard. But there we go. Pikey is located. I pop my radar. And sorry, I don't pop my radar. He pops his radar. We get onto the Fantastic. The Grom is there as well. And so I'm going to just keep piling on this Fantastic as long as I can. And then I call my switch target to the Grom as he disappears behind the island. And we're going to put shots onto the Grom. Pikey is getting absolutely mullered here. We're going to stay on that Grom as long as we can. He's panicking, pops his smoke. And now I'm worried about getting torpedoes around the corner from the Fantastic. But I don't know who's going to kill this guy. Is it me or is it the Nagato? Somebody's putting shots at him and he is going to die. There we go. It was the Nagato with secondaries, and I get a 3rd kill assist. So I haven't got a kill for myself yet, but I have got 3 assists, and I'm happy with that for now. There's the Grom. He's in his smoke. He can't see a thing. I can see him. And we are just going to keep laying on the pain. Now, what I could have done here is just before that radar ran out, you know, if my smoke screen had been a couple of seconds earlier, we could have extended that by another 20 seconds and kept it going. So that's something I'm going to have to try and remember for my future games. But as you can see there, Pikey gets away with a sliver of health. The Lutarigo's there behind him, full health. He's coming this direction too, instead of staying to try and defend Charlie Cap there. So what we're going to do is we are going to flip this cap. And there's the Vlad pushing through there. And I'm telling Rotary that I'm going to push back and do what I can to defend C cap. And I'm calling the timer on the caps as it's ticking down so that he can see exactly how long we've got and how quickly I'm going to get back to him. But he is being battered. The Nagato has angled out and angled away. The hood is playing tricky. Radar goes up there again, I think. I don't know what that was for. But there is the Heinrich. Torpedoes from the Lutorigo running on that guy. I'm thinking if I can get a fire on him. I know he has limited damage controls. His guns are looking in my direction, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm sure that the Heinrich has torpedoes. So has he just torpedoed my smokescreen? I want to stay in here for as long as possible, knowing that I'm not going to be a dope in a smoke as far as destroyers go, but not wanting to potentially catch a torpedo and go out stupidly from the Heinrich. We're pretty much halfway through the game here, and I still haven't lost a single hit point, and I'm feeling that this is actually turning into a decent game. But RotaryRabbit there is absolutely getting hammered by these guys, by the secondaries, by the main guns. We get another fire on the Heinrich. I think that does have a reduced cooldown time on its repair party, but as I said, it has got limited repair parties, which means that a couple more fires and we should be able to burn him out. Now, I'm going to push in because I want to contest this cap. The Gato has decided he's going to come in, go bow in, and probably try and get on this Heinrich and the hood. I'm trying to stay as far away from the hood as I possibly can, but I want to get on and contest the cap, and he is pushing in close. He knows he's spotted, and he is going to turn in the middle. And that Roma potentially cost his team the game, because had he pushed there as I get spotted, because I'm at 5.8 concealment, not lower concealment, because I am running as a gunboat. I have no smoke screens left. I have one engine boost, which is coming up, but I don't want red team to have this cap. He's just fired his turrets at the Nagato. I put torpedoes out there. This guy is going to play clever. He's going to try and turn back in on the cap, knowing that potentially they need that cap to stop us from pulling points. And I'm going to sail away. I'm going to stay on this guy because I am spotted. If I can get him to shoot at me, that's a salvo that doesn't go at the Nagato. Now, Pikey and the Lutorigo were heading round there, and I was like, there's a cruiser around that corner. If you go up and round that corner, you're both going to get absolutely shafted. And he's like, I'm not going that way. I'm going to actually turn around and come back. I was like, beautiful, because we have got that hood coming through the center of the map. So again, tactical awareness, paying attention to what is going on the map, which ships are where your teammates are, and communicating. Now, I'm saying communication because we are in a division and we're talking to each other as we play. The game does have voice comms. Don't be shy to jump up on mic and say, hi, is anybody listening? Because you can talk to each other and you can help each other, and it makes a huge difference to the game. Trust me on this one. Communication is everything. Now that Roma's pushing in, and I'm going to just basically put some shots across the top because I think the Nagato can see him. He's going to pop his smoke. I'm going to look and try and get a fire on him. And then I'm going to turn in, and thinking that he's going to push this cap, I'm going to try and defend it. The Lutorigo actually made it round that corner unscathed, although I think he must be running a rolling smoke at the moment to try and get rid what was it there? I didn't see which ship it was, but he obviously gets torpedoes on and gets rid of that guy. That was skin of the teeth business. He played risky. He came out on top, but cats have 9 lives. Lutorigos appear to have 2, and he's going to basically throw away that last life that he has a bit later in the game, but not before he gets onto that cap behind red team. Pikey is kiting that other ship all the way down the side of the map, running as fast as he can. He's, like I said, he's got 0 hit points left practically. The Vladivostok is pushing out, so I'm going to overlay my spreads of torpedoes, one slightly right of the indicator, one slightly left of the indicator. The reason I've done that is I've only got 2 spreads of 3. That is a wide spread for the split. A narrow spread is very, very narrow. So they're not, I don't want to say they're rubbish torpedo boats. They're not the greatest of torpedo boats. And as those torpedoes get out of range, they do sort of really open up that gap. But by overlapping like that, we get 2 on the Vladivostok. That brings the game almost even. We've got the caps, and I'm thinking, okay, we've got 2 caps. We've taken the 3rd. We can pull this one on points. It is a really hard fight. And as I said to the guys, look at the ships that are left. We've got a Roma, we've got a Hood on red team. We've got 3 battleships. We've got 2 battleships on red team. We have got 3 destroyers. Since the change to spotting mechanics in this game, destroyers really are your eyes and ears of the game. As you see there, nobody's got line of sight on that Roma at the moment, so I'm going to have to pull out and try and get him spotted. But that Lutarigo, who's taken a cap, is playing silly, and he's putting shots onto that Roma. I'm going to try and get some torpedoes out, thinking that Roma's going to do a runner. And you'll see this time, narrow spreads. And we're going to basically tease him because we're looking at where his guns are. His guns aren't in our direction. We get a fire on him. He is going to turn and shoot at us. So after a couple of salvos, we turn and we go skinny. And then we aren't going to fire anymore. He's only fired 2 turrets at us. He gets a little bit of tickle, and I think that's the first hit points I've lost in this game after pretty much 13 minutes. But now that he's fired, I've got an island there beside me that I can disappear behind. I think the Lutarigo has line of sight, so I can put some more shots on. No, I can't, because the Lutarigo doesn't have line of sight, and so I have to turn around again and go back against this cap. The Hood has pushed in and taken Bravo cap. Pikey did the right thing there. He stayed away from it. He let them take the cap. Now he's gone back in to contest it, which means that they aren't earning any points on it. I can't see this Roma anymore. My torpedoes are on cooldown, and so basically they are probably going to get the opportunity to flip Charlie Cap after all this time. But we have the advantage by around 140, 150 points. Lutarigo there has taken an absolute battering, and he decides that he's going to try and have a crack at the Hood. And we're going to be telling him to get back and to retreat and things like that. But this guy is adamant that he wants to have another kill. He probably didn't need to get that close at all. And this is one of those examples of basically watching somebody potentially throwing a game away, because he's lining up the torps on the Hood. And I think it's only the fact that Pikey is back on Bravo cap. There we go. We lose the Lutarigo. That cuts our lead to about 60, 70 points there. I pick up a Confederate with a torpedo on this guy. The clock is ticking down in the last 10 seconds. We can't lose it here because his guns are looking in the wrong direction. The Hood hasn't got a shot on me. So those last few seconds, I'm just going to pile it out there, get a little bit of damage out of the way, and we're going to finish with 3 kills and 3 assists. Probably unlucky not to get a Kraken there, but we finished top of the board with 3,444 base XP with a solid performance by PikeyMonkey there, and also RotaryRabbit in absolutely taking a battering in holding that flank and stopping red team from pushing. If you have liked that game, if you learned something new with a little bit of the tip at the start with the radar and the smoke screen, smash that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I'm going to say Merry Christmas because we're almost there. And until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.